All right, family. All right. All right. And all right. Welcome in us. A different view family here who believe in, who love after, who hunger and thirst for, seek. Those who are seeking and searching to find that which is a different view. Family, welcome in this morning. You excuse my voice here. Again, we getting over a weird kind of bug that's been going around lately. So a whole lot of that is going on as we transition from one season to the next here, right? We're on the wind down of summer. I know a lot of people like to skip and just go straight to, they just like to go straight to, fall. But hopefully we can allow each other to just, how do I say this? Enjoy the seasons, right? We got to get okay just enjoying the seasons. Just enjoying the seasons. I'm going to do some things here that I had not done. Let me just mute the sound here on the device. This way you're not hearing buzzings and all these kinds of things from my stuff here. We're going to repost this on the A Different View Facebook page, right? Our fan page, I guess, if you will, right? More informational than just for fanfare, but I digress, right? And again, those let your friends know, right? On Facebook, if you're, y'all are active in Facebook, at A Different View. We just made it here, and we're learning as we grow here. I got to put this in. This is something that we've already said. On Spotify, the podcast you can find on Spotify, Apple, and Pandora. I always put this in here so that people can know if you have an interest and you want to hear some of the different topics that we've talked on. That we will reiterate again because repetition is necessary for learning. Apple, Pandora's the newest one, and Spotify is the OG, right? Shout out to Spotify for creators. We normally do this, but we're just going to do this here to give credit where it's due for allowing your boy to put on, same thing with TikTok, right? Anybody who's okay, we not listen. We knock a thing, family, but at the same time, you have to give credit to where credit is due, which we're going to get into a little bit of this here today. with one Miss Michaels and Jillian Michaels, who has a little bit of an issue. We're going to read to you a document. We had talked about some documents here that we have to address. And, we're going to address them because it's necessary, right? Family, it's necessary to talk about life and godliness, right? So y'all strap in. This is going to be a good one. We're going to try not to take too much of your time today because, again, as we have said, much of the truths of life are already quite evident, right? We're just finding them out as we go along. That's the whole basis of the podcast, the whole basis for even these lives. It's kind of an extension of my podcast. Like, the idea, family, is that we share in life's experiences. There's no ownership. Somebody kicked us a bill of goods. This is no ownership, right? So, where to begin, right? Where to begin? Maybe we could start with this black teacher, right? Wherever she is. Somebody in the comments, if you know, right? Just shout out your boy, right? If you know where this woman is from, where she's teaching, because I have yet to find it, right? And she's talking about, she's talking. Everybody is talking about how she's dressed. Family, I want y'all to just do me a favor, right, and look up. Maybe it's because we have a problem with the figure of a woman. I guess if the woman is size 0 to 10, it's okay. And then the dress, it's got to be looser, and it can't be too form-fitting because now she's too sexual. And somebody has kicked us a bill of goods, y'all. Right? This is not. Come on. No way. No way. Right. So that's that out there, right? That's that out there where her dress is just so improper. Ain't nothing too improper about this sister's dress. You can find it. It's on. All you got to do is just type in your. And I like doing this because it's like a reference. I don't want people to think I'm bugging, right? all you got to do. Let's see. Type in your computer, phone, whatever. You type in. Let's see how I did it here. Black teacher outfit improper. That's what you type in. And this is 2 days ago. You'll see sister's picture, right? It's on Instagram. Again, I encourage people, go look at images of these teachers. I can see just all you do, just images of various female teachers' attire, and I need somebody to let me know from what we're seeing what is so off about sister's attire. Okay, I think because we've gotten okay with the sundress as attire, that the pantsuit, and we can go back in the day as far as pantsuits and all this. See, again, everything has got to deal with regulating how the woman can make it in a man's society, and that mess don't even make sense, family, because we both share down here. But when the colonizer came, again, on the podcast, and if YouTube has a problem with this, we'll deal with the appeal. Unfortunately, this is the mess, right? Because we on Master's thing, right? You got to set parameters by which a woman can and can't do things, right? Part of this is what Jillian Michaels talked about in this, that everybody is going ham about. That was not an issue back in the day that we have made an issue today, which would be women and men on the sports field. We had talked about if you go back in the other episodes of my podcast, the Negro Leagues, that league that they say had subpar pitching and all types of stuff, which is why they shouldn't be included in Major League Baseball. You kicked them out of Major League Baseball, why they had to make the Negro Leagues, right? Yet, suddenly there's no validity ever given. See, again, we're talking the seed of the scornful, family, but we're going to show you in the document today that maybe there should be a little bit less, maybe just a little bit less of where we're making fun of the thing, and maybe give some credit to it. Maybe just, again, that's why we call it a different view, right? That's why the name of the podcast is A Different View. On YouTube, you can find it at A Different View 80. What I've done is made like a folder that is the different episodes that you can find, right? It's called A Different View, and from there, we can look and enjoy some different view, right? So yeah, this black teacher here, because the woman put on, let's just look at it for one moment, right? We're not being weird here, so please drop that at the door, the defense of your mind. That's not what we're doing here. The woman's got on a form-fitting skirt with like these old school kind of Egyptian, strap-up heels, basic shirt. Again, it's called that good Amerifro. Or an afro or loose fitting hair. This is some of the names that they had for that kind of hairstyle back then. That's what she got on. I know she dancing and she got some hips and a big ass and whatnot, family, right? Okay. There's some cake to this sister. Where have we seen that before? Also, not the only people group here that has that going on, right? I don't know. I don't know what we made up these distinctions, but I think, again, opinion of the content creator. We're gonna lead. We're gonna stay in the middle with that. We're gonna end with that. So people who have an issue, we get it. Okay, some do, and some don't. Yeah, nothing going on with this sister. We all went to school. I'm 45, family. We went to school with some teachers. I had some in my class, man. Some good looking women. Okay. This is not gross. This is life. Right? We keep doing it. Ew. This is not, listen. We're not talking about rulers of kingdoms who would take young women as queens. And when we say young women, we're talking like kids. These are things that you find historically documented, right? We're not talking about that kind of thing here. We this is a natural attraction here. You seeing some of these brothers going by and whatnot, you know, and somebody made a joke in one of the comments here that the class attendance is going to be at 100%. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be. Okay. This is not this teacher playing up to nothing. Again, a woman cannot, how do we say this? I know we want them all in the burlap sack. That is until it's time for them to please us, right? So there's a little bit of pseudo with that. But at the end of the day, this is who they are. Can we allow them to express themselves or not? All right, are we going to use the Bible and all other types of holy texts to be like, hey, this can't be this way? And again, we understand everything goes sideways one way or the other. So we understand balance here. Okay, but I think we're imposing something that we should not in many instances, right? Let's get into this video here from Miss. This is just one clip. There's a few different ones, right? There's a few. Yo, Jillian, Michael, sis, if you hear this, y'all reap whatever you got to do, sis. Right? Everybody's got the right to agree and disagree. This mess right here, man. Let's make sure we had the volume right. If I don't, my apologies, family, right? But don't, just adjust your volume here if it's a little too loud. If it's not, again, shout me out in the comments if you can hear it, so on and so forth. This was Ms. Michaels on CNN's Newsnight. And who is she? Who you vote for don't matter. Since we had this issue with TikTok, I want to make it clear. Whoever they give you is a bunch of trash. So it doesn't matter which one you vote for. You can vote for whoever you choose. Okay? We're talking about operating in a system of government that any government in any part of the world changes over time, including this one. Right? And it's people, it's an ability of the people for us to be able to have conversations where it affects us. Healthcare needs to be provided to all of the people groups. Right? Let me do this real quick, right? Shout out to Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Back in the day, dropped a bomb on people, right? Talking about the 9 areas of people activity. Now, his assistant, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, shout out to you, sis, right? May you truly rest peacefully. Okay. These are the 9 activities. These are she added on the 10th one. Okay. So here we go. Economics, education. Before I say this, I gotta pause and put this in there. Whether we believe it or not is immaterial, family. You know that? Do we know that? See, whether you think gravity works or not, gravity's still working. Right? We ain't floating yet on, right? Whether you're listening in the car or you're in the house or you're at the job with the headphones on, you're listening, whatever it is, right? You ain't floating. Unless you have learned how to subvert that kind of law, you ain't. This is why when people talk about the universal laws to me, I'm looking at it as how this planet operates. It's been encoded a certain way. Christians could easily hang on to this and believe these kinds of things if they let go a lot of the mess Massa gave them, but they don't. Okay? Understand that and family welcome in, right? Understand that and my apologies to some, right? Some people I let them know before I hop on, right? Some of the family, right? I let them know before I hop on, man. This one got me in my feelings today, man. Listening to this mess from Jillian Michaels got me going. So we have to drop some truth for people to digest in their mind and then just go on from there, right? Just shout out, let people know. Let people know. Come on down and listen to this one today. This one's gonna be good, right? Economics. We're talking the 10 areas of people activity. Speaking on that, which a lot of this mess you got to hear from this video with Miss Michaels, okay? And it's unfortunate because she went through a lot of stuff with health, right? But this is what's in the mind of the people. You know, I'd heard a thing, right? And listen to some teaching that all is the mind. All is the mind, and the universe is mental, right? However you interpret this, is how you interpret this. The way I see it, family, is that, again, biblically it tells you that as a man thinketh. Now we know this ain't just men, right? Because this is people. This is people. Okay. So as a person thinks in it, because men just aren't down here, right? It's women too, last I checked. Clearly that we got a problem with a black teacher, how she dresses in front of her kids, because it's so improper. And thank you, family, for your support, right? Thank you, family, for your support. Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and again, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing added on health. This is where we operate. This is where life operates, and in this sick system that's been created. Again, that she's going to mention in this video on CNN, right? This is what demand, massa, the establishment. We talk like they used to talk in the 60s and 70s because it's very apropos, right? Again, when you go back a little bit further, like we were talking about the book from Carter G. Woodson about the miseducation of the Negro, he just came out and said the oppressor, right? We can kind of get away from all these things like, okay, Jay, it's 2025. No, ain't a damn thing changed but the date on the calendar, family. That's it. You make it look a little different. Hey, come on, somebody, right? You make it look a little different, right? We talk about this like with the hoe in the street. You see the hoe yesterday, she had on a different outfit. Today, she got on another outfit, same hoe. That's what you got going on, family, right? So we're saying it a little differently now. We put in DEI and all that kind of stuff, but it's the same kind of thing. It's the same thing. Again, economics, education, entertainment, labor, law. All you got to do is just in your phone, computer, whatever, type in either the 9 or 10 areas of people activity from Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., right? Politics, religion, sex, war, and health. We can go, we will over time go into each one of these in different ways, right? Here's what she had to say.
People oppressing black people. Every single thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example.
So let me pause right here just to have this. Family, it is a danger. What is one of the people activities that we just finished talking about, yo? Education of something we all have been tainted by, the miseducation. You invite anybody you want to hop on. These are the kind of this woman said this mess in front of the dark brown and or tan skin tone people on this planet, and you want to talk about tone deaf, white people bad. Family, can we, because we just talked about this with cultural appropriation, right? Again, we know it's not everybody, but for the ones that are operating in this, we talk about this with the military, with the police, no matter what it is. We'll talk about this with government. Unfortunately, by those who get on the ballot, by the time they're there presented for you to vote with the only two parties they give you to vote in, oh, no, KJ, there's like the independent and the blah, 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 blah. No. The only two that they allow to make a difference, right? Now, again, this is because the people don't stand up in nothing and then just vote for somebody in the independent circuit. I'll just say it that way. But at the end of the day, you've got to have choices, and the choices they're giving you are trash, y'all. They twisted that which was the Democratic Party. They're supposed to stand up for the rights of the so-called black person, to turn it into something that further hurts us. Hey. You already know, and you go back further into history when you have the feudalist party and everything at the beginning of this sick party at the expense of our native, Mexican, and black brothers and sisters, right? You had this hybrid of Democratic and Republican. You can go look it up. I don't take the time to waste time, family. I don't have that kind of time. Right? They sat there, and who was Democratic was Republican back then. We all know this, right? Who was Republican was Democrat. We have talked about this with Lyndon Johnson. Good old Lyndon Johnson signing Negro bills. He didn't call them Negro bills, though. I'm using the word Negro. That's how a Democrat looked at our people. I'm not giving him a pass because he was Southern. Anybody can change their process, no matter where their thought process, no matter where they come from. Again, all is the mind. As a person thinks, that's what they're going to do. That's what and doing, words, spelling, right? We say spelling like, a spell with the power, my, oh my, power of life and death is in your words. I know it's saying the tongue, it's in your words. And what we've done is been okay cutting each other down. The man is okay cutting the woman down. Folks, unfortunately, like Jillian Michaels, are okay hiding the sin of our own people. Here we go in there today, y'all. If it sounds a little churchy, get a good tambourine in the background. Hey, yeah, right? Just walk there with your brother for a minute. This is the idea of all this message, to hide the wrong you're doing, not correct it. The judicial system is the way it is because they hide criminal function, not end it. Let me see if I can pull this up in the middle while I'm doing this. While you would have somebody talk this mess about, let me just hit this mute here because I don't want to, Oh, bro. We got people who are okay, family, killing and supporting killing. Huh? Let me just see. Let me just see if I can pull up, cue it up, and go from there. Yeah. This it. Let's just let this play for a second.
What do you think about the state of our country? Do you think things are getting worse?
I think it's a racial powder keg about to explode, and we're actually hoping for it. Most of the people in the Klan want it to. We want the racial tension. We want a race war, a full-out race war.
And racism is a big issue in the United States.
Well, racism's always going to be a big issue anywhere. You can't have two different races or three races. You can't have this many people living on one continent with this many different religions, this many different cultures without one trying to step on the other. I mean, that's just common sense.
But
Now, we talk about common sense. Clearly, common sense is common, but the common folk, let me say it again. Common sense is common, but the common folk don't want to use sense. See, there's a difference. How in the world can you say people groups, the maker made people groups down here? People groups can't live together down here? See, we had read the quote. It's on the podcast, right? We had read the quote from Mr. Lincoln talking about how since you wanted to free the Negro, talking about miseducation. For the longest, I thought Abraham Lincoln was the black man and woman's hero. But you just did it to keep the Union together. Do you know who the Union is supporting, family? This is not down talking this nation. This is language to set it free. There's a difference. People groups can't live down here. You want folks to kill each other. That's what you're saying. Well, so then when all the bones are scattered across this beautiful, and you talk about America the Beautiful, while it's all across the Americas, from the northernest tip of Canada down to the southernest tip of South America and extended outwards east and west to each island. Beautiful are the Americas. These fools going to sit here and this is what we mean by fool. We talking as a verb. The word fool means to deal in deception and trickery. Let's keep going.
You could argue that the Klan is contributing to the problem. No?
No, the Klan ain't contributing to the problem. You can just sit back and let the blacks do their own job. I mean, let them keep killing each other in record numbers. We ain't got to, the Klan ain't got to go out and kill blacks no more. We just drop off some liquor in their town and some guns, and they do it themselves. If it was my option every weekend, I would go up to Chicago with a big truck full of whiskey and crack, marijuana, and a ton of guns and bullets and tell them have at it and just drop it off right in the middle of town. And then go home and watch my Monday morning news and laugh the whole time.
Now, this is what they think of us, family. Various people groups. Again, you just heard Jillian Michaels say, it's wrong to say white people bad. You know what's wrong to say? That they all are. I'm not going to put it all on them. But the ones clearly doing this mess, supporting this sickness, this includes our so-called black brothers and sisters and anyone else of the dark brown and tan skin tones. Damn it, I'm done. Wrong is wrong is wrong, and no different than the Bible telling you that at the end time, whether y'all believe it, don't believe it, calling wrong right and right wrong is going to be at its highest levels. And if you can't tell your brother here today that is not the case, because that's what you're watching. We're watching it live and in living color. To bring peace to the people groups, there must be a race war. This was in the thought. To get the healing that is necessary behind people, we cannot say where the bad is. See, we've said it before on the podcast. We're going to say it again because it's the truth of the thing. When we talk about the various people groups and who you need to watch out for, we're not just saying it because because it's just a bias. They earned that, right? The Germans earned every bit of the mess that they did, whether it was in Africa or to their own people in Europe. Huh? The Dutch earned it when they went into the Congo, using the missionary Christians as pawns for massa, not the maker. And you kicked a bill of goods to our Congo brothers and sisters so that they could produce wealth for someone else, not them. The French earned it by going in until just recent, as far as I know, having colony packs in Africa. Huh? I'm not even going to bring up like Bill Gates and stuff like that. Because again, by this point, anything afterwards, you already know what the mess is. And you telling me you don't know how to operate health-wise. Do you know how much food we talking now with it? And this is all people groups specifically. Again, we can't do specific and general speech no more. It's like the brain goes sideways on it. Specifically talking about our so-called black brothers and sisters. What is this mess with cooking things in fat? They don't. Or the ones that we see do have serious health problems. So now what? When you go to Pandora Express, come on, right? We drop in a few names, not too many, right? When you go and eat healthy food, now you eating the quote unquote white man's food? No, you're eating healthy. But you know why these words can come out of the mouth? Because you've been bred to think that way. So again, from the thought now out your mouth, your confession in this case is not made to your salvation, which we know the word salvation, when you study it, just means being set apart. Let's continue, because this is part, unfortunately. See, stop lying on daddy. This is how I said it, right? We have this issue in our families, and again, what you see in the home comes out in the street. Stop using God as an excuse for the sickness that people are doing. Can we please, family? Right? You mean to pick up that gun? You got the choice to choose. You got the choice to choose. Never mind. Let's keep on going with it.
What's the most important thing you've learned in your life?
To never turn my back on God. He'll always be there for me.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Lord, if folks can't pick up on it, I don't know what to tell you. Let's go back. This is a 2-minute thing, man, right? Let's just see what the rest of this sister got to say.
Every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like people,
Again, white people bad. The Smithsonian has certain exhibits here. You're telling me we have to have when you look at the prairie, right? This would be Little House on the Prairie. What's that other TV show? I always forget the name of it. Right, and there's clips of it online where the Catholic, the word Catholic means universally accepted, family, right? That's what the word Catholic means. The nuns in the Catholic Church, to our shout out our native brothers and sisters one time, they had to sit there and deal with hell on this earth, beating them and cutting their hair. This is historical record, right? Because we keep playing like what ain't real and this, that, and the other. Again, when you look at, we just hopping from thing to thing today. When you look at the Willie Lynch letter, right, back in the 1700s, this man is telling you that you separate by age. That's ageism right there. You separate by color and shade. That's racism right there. That's how you keep them docile. For 300 years is what the man said in the letter that people say is a hoax. But you're watching how people operate. So how much of a hoax is it? Intelligence, size, your gender. Now again, we just said one of the people activities was sex. That goes in both directions. Both the act of sex and your gender. Size of plantation. That's why you got people, which town you came from. We all still on planet Earth, by the way. But which place you came from? I came from Chicago. Well, I came from Amityville, this, that, and other. And then you start judging people. God help somebody today, man. You start judging people off that. What is that? We still from the planet. Now. We understand there's different point of views we're going to have from the different places we come from. But we all can learn the last I checked. Status on the plantation. This is why you watch some of these video games. You go back and watch some of these video games from back in the day. Why the hell are they asking what your occupation is? I know people gonna come up with an excuse, but why are they asking what your occupation is? Yeah. Status on the plantation. Attitude of the owner. Your owner. You separated people from another person's point of view of them. Oh man, come on. This thing was all messed up. She gonna try to defend it on live national TV. Whether the slave live in the valley, on the hill, all the 4 directions is named here. East, north, west, and south. Have fine hair or coarse hair. Whether I got the Amerifro, I cut my hair low so you can see them beautiful waves God has gave me in my hair. Whether I'm bald headed, it don't give a damn. That's you. But Massa want to make sure you ain't you no more. You for them. Made in their image and in their likeness. Which one do we choose, family? Which one do we choose, y'all? Tall or short? That's why you got this mess with tall folks. Now, unfortunately, the short person's complex. You do see it. But again, you got to make yourself, you are you. I don't need a pickup truck to make me. Right? I don't need some fancy car to make me. This is the stuff you talk about, our conscious brothers and sisters. This is what we're talking about. You wash your mind of that mess. Let's continue. And my apologies for getting heated, man, but this is come on now. This is mess what these people say. Let's keep going.
Migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of Castro. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you...
So when you look at the history of our Cuban brothers and sisters, which we can go down that road, I'm not doing it right now. You think all that is just on Fidel Castro? We're asking a question now, because this is a mess that someone else has taught you. You think all that mess is... Do you think that it had anything to do with the conqueror? Wait. How else do we say that? Conquistador. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's our Spanish brothers and sisters. Okay, that's right. Wait, that's part of Europe. Yeah, that's right. you think it has anything to do with that? Which would be any one of the other islands in the Americas, right? Our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. Look at the names they have. Because we don't call them Taino people no more. The word Puerto Rican means rich port, family. Rich port. For who? It damn sure wasn't for the people living on the island. Let's keep going, man. Yeah. Like, listen, if you want to be okay living in the deception, that's our business, right? But each one, that's why we say to each their own, okay? But like, since they want to make up like white only towns and stuff, can y'all just go over there and talk that mess over there to y'all, right? And then we'll go and choose freedom somewhere else. Just like there's something else in the news, but again, right? In Ecclesiastes, it tells you there's nothing. We'll go over that on another live. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. What you see once comes, leaves, comes back again. That's what you're watching. Let's continue with let's continue with this system, man.
Walk in the front door.
What exactly?
The first thing you see is the gay flag.
Jillian, you have a lot of stuff in front of you.
Yeah, I do.
What
because
exactly
I don't. Because here's the
are
thing.
you talking about?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, please.
There's one called "Change Your Game." Right. This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Does that? And then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex. It's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX chromosome, XY chromosome.
All right. So now when she's talking about sports, right? Shout out to Tony Stone in the Negro Leagues, right? When they made that movie A League of Their Own, family, they weren't lying. Do you think women can't play the game? Do you think women can't play with the men? We're asking a question. How much throughout human history? But that's cool. We sit in the seat of the scornful. To scorn is to despise something, to mock it. So all this woman's saying makes sense because that's the seat in her mind she's sitting in. Taught to her that she doesn't want to see anything else. So this is what she sees. Many people every day is who we come up across like that. Right? How many different times throughout human history do we have to see women and men competing in the same sport? You know, they talk about this and allude this in the TV show Echo, right? Shout out to Disney one time. Again, put something on the TV other than the mess that we watching. I don't know how else to say it. And in the show, our native brothers and sisters having a form, I believe, of what was lacrosse or something, soccer, something along that line, whereby they were settling a tribal dispute. Now, when you go and you look up different things like this was on top of the land they lived in, right? This is on top of the land they lived in. For folks to be like, they're just using it, this is just Hollywood, just, you know, they kind of twisting it, this, that, and the other, KJ. We know. Again, people like to sit in the seat of the scornful. At the end of it, you see how Echo's ancestors battling through situations and finding a way to deal with stuff that was like a soul Echo calling to her in modern day on how to do something. We ain't even gonna get into that with our ancestors. I'm not gonna walk that road right now. Right? We have to understand though, as a people group, we don't I heard it said this way, it was pretty cool, right? We don't have to be smart. All we gotta do, man, all we gotta do is listen to the words and the teachings of our ancestors and elders, and we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. That really honestly is to every people group, but we're talking about the ones who are on the top of the class of the downtrodden, which would be the dark brown and tan skin tone peoples of this planet. Right? Let's continue.
That's sports. Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports? No, but why is this in the Smithsonian? So it's
Look,
it's
I mean,
been completely captured.
First of all, I don't
and
think
it's totally
we don't.
partisan.
First of all, we don't have time to litigate
Of
all of
course
this.
we don't.
I would be remiss without stopping here to just say this. When if you choose to have a men's only league and a women's only league, that's your business. But the idea to set up this premise like the women and men cannot do this is kind of silly. Me and the missus, right? Shout out to you, honey. We went out to go see Ballerina a while back, right? It's playing off the John Wick movie, right? Shout out John Wick one time. And this idea is there that like the woman can't fight. Anybody who's seen The Woman King. See, again, when you look at art, family, realize that in art in its forms, music, science, all these are arts, right? They imitate life. That's what the phrase is told to us. You are seeing in real time. You watch these horror movies, you watch in real time what's in the mind of people, right? All this kind of stuff. And in the mind, watching Ballerina, family, what you pick up on real quick is that woman can kill just like a man can in her own way. Why would you discredit that? Because of your strength? See, but your Bible says that I will use the things that are considered weak. Yo, shout out for the people named Leah on this planet where every fool of a human goes back into the Bible in the story with Rebecca and Leah, and it talks about how Leah has a weak eye. May this set someone free. I will use. Yo, and we look right past the common, the common sense of a thing. I will use the weak to confound the strong. So how the hell can the woman not work and play in a league with the fellas? Can someone answer that to me? Other than by bias and bias alone. Because that's what it is. It's our league and y'all don't have no place here. Which is funny, that's exactly what they did with the Negro League. And we showed up and showed out. When you look back to the history of it, many things that the MLB uses to this day they got from the Negro League. But if you'd have dropped the hate and the sickness, see, I don't always do this kind of, it's just in their nature. Because if that's the case, then you need to look at your own black brother and sister and understand that these brothers treat these women like trash out here. And it's vice versa. The response then is looking down on your black brother and sister, which is why, well, your black brother. This is a sickness that is within our people. From two places, please understand this, family. Your boy over here, again, the opinion of the content creator, two places. And we're going to come to the close on this. Number one, it comes from internal, right? Our own kind of, the battle between good and bad in us. Right? Our Asian brothers and sisters call it duality, which we have to get a grasp of. Right? Shout out to the movie Shang-Chi, man, because that's how I found out about duality. I ain't know nothing. Because, see, damn it, they don't teach you nothing in school no more. They teach you how to be, again, even from the history of Sunday school, they teach you how to be a good worker for massa, not the master. There's a difference. The other one is external, what you learn from. And Lord, have we been teaching our youth some sickness. Let's continue.
Because then you're going to
but I
lose
just-
the
no.
argument.
No,
and
no.
everything
Here's
is
what
racialized, just like you're trying to do to me now.
Excuse
So it's
me.
like, oh, I can't believe you're trying to suggest, that slavery
just to
is a
be
good
clear,
thing.
you brought up race.
No,
this was a conversation about the arts, and you brought up race.
It isn't,
You
though.
brought up.
But the whole
hold
point
on,
of
hold
this
on,
is that
Jillian.
the issue
you
people
brought
take-
up. You brought up slavery, and you brought
I
up the
actually
question
didn't.
of whether. Hold
You
on.
did.
You brought up
And
the
my
question
point-
of whether or not slavery in the United States is about race. The answer is
No, I didn't.
yes.
I
Slavery
did not say
in the
that.
United States
don't
is
straw man my
about
argument
race.
because that's not what I said.
So what are
she
you
brought
talking
up
about?
slavery, and what I would.
Let me pause here, right? Because it's a minute 48. So the rest of the the rest of the stuff y'all can find if you wanna look at this, right? When people do that mess to you, right? Because this is where it's at now. It's about race. It's about race. It's about race. Who brought in that conversation? Because the people groups living on this land by which we are, and y'all just hear my little protector here, Fiona, in the background. You hear that shaking. What's going on, girl? Yeah. Understand that at the end of it all, right? These people groups on these lands was living in peace. Yeah, they had their squabbles. Yeah, they had their squabbles. Again, I'm going to say it again. Because you find Amanda getting beat on by Samuel, does that mean you hop in? And it's hard for us to answer that question. Interesting, isn't it? People were living here in peace. They put that mess on us. They're the ones came here talking about you got to separate people in order to keep them docile because they were lazy. Every time they talk about the black man and woman is lazy, realize they had to have a whole workforce. They bred our black sisters purposefully to create a workforce and then enslave those beautiful children. What the hell are people trying to tell me? Now you want me to go to church with you. Wait. This is one of the biggest organizations. There's no repentance in the church. You got the AME churches like this. The PAWs that we talked about with Marvin Sapp like this. You're okay making separations and divisions where there are none. From one blood, right? This is the part we go back where we start attacking Greeks and everybody else who thinks differently than the Christian does, right? At the end of it all, this is where you want to say now, talking about the unknown God, Paul drops the hammer on people that comes from serious understanding. One blood, all nations that dwell upon the earth. That's how we're made. This is why we can understand when you get into this, and this is again, like I said, we was going to end, but your boy get going. Okay, girl. All right. Lay down. This here, okay? We like doing things live and in living color, family. That's how life is, right? That's how life is. Let me see if I can find this here. The works of Huey Bancroft, right? Hubert Bancroft. Let me just pull this up real quick. This book was done in the 1880s, right? It's called The Works of Hubert Howe Bancroft, The Native Races, 1882. Okay? When you go to page, as you can look this up on Google Books, page 364. Right? Very telling stuff. We're talking about the Indians in California. Okay? When you get to the bottom of it, some ethnologists, this is just the middle of it. Okay? Pretty interesting book. Some ethnologists see in the Californians a stock difference from that of any other American race. Okay? They brought racism here. And now we have to live in it, family. And you have to free your mind from it. Because a lot of it is a bunch of crap. Nobody's above anybody. Shout out to our Rastafarian brothers and sisters, right? Because this is part of in their teach. Again, another split off of the Abrahamic household of faith, excuse me. Right? You don't own nothing. We're here sharing things. Different from any other American race, but the more I dwell upon the subject, the more convinced I am that except in the broader distinctions, specific classifications of humanity are but idle speculations. These are the people who came here looking. Look what they found. Their height rarely exceeds 5'8" and is more frequently 5'4" to 5'5". Somebody, you know what? I'm gonna do it just in real time here, right? What's the average height of people? This is today. 5'6". for the men, 5'2" for the women. Okay? I don't, again, if we're going to do this, then let us just be open to again, a different view, right? Okay? Although strongly, they are seldom symmetrically built. Okay? So this is kind of how these people looked. I believe this might have been the Central Californians. This is a little bit California Indians, different from North, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Here's the distinction. A low retreating forehead. I want y'all to look up what a low retreating forehead looked like. Black, deep set eyes. Okay? Thick, bushy eyebrows. Okay? Salient cheekbones. Look up what salient looked like. Okay? A nose depressed at the root and somewhat wide-spreading at the nostrils. Those who sit in the seat of the scornful make fun of us for that wide nose, don't they? Yeah, they do. A large mouth with thick, prominent lips. Large teeth, large and white, not always regular, and rather large ears is the prevailing type. Their complexion is much darker than that of the tribes farther north, often being nearly, see, when they call you black, that's a misnomer. Nearly, may this set someone free today. That they saw us, when they sit there and talk this crap about racism and stuff, they were the people who had a sick way they looked at us, could not deny that which the Maker made us. And any Christian in the group, including the Jew and the Muslim, should be shouting hallelujah, or however you say it in your best language right now. Nearly black. Nearly black. Not black. Close to it. So that with their matted and bushy hair, matted back in the day meant nappy. Especially that kind of hair where you need a hot iron. And we got Snoopy playing in the background. We're just going to let that play for a second. Give your boy a chance to cool down while we do this, and then we're going to finish. My apologies for keeping y'all long. Hopefully y'all can hear Snoopy in the background. With their matted and bushy hair, which is frequently cut short, they present a very, now they said uncouth. Ain't nothing uncouth. They looked at it as uncouth because it's different from what they saw over in Europe. But it wasn't uncouth. It was those people. You stop letting people lie to you about how you look. It's how you look. They're going to have to get okay with it or get from around you. That's how it works. Respectfully. They go on to talk about the beards, and in between in this thing there is a lot of footnotes. I mean, like a lot of footnotes. And in much of it, you know what they're talking about? How very little clothes these people had on. So you won't get mad at this teacher here dressed. Again, she ain't dressed in a way that's hurting nobody. Somebody got to get okay with the female figure. There's a difference. Without wanting to harm the woman and try to advance to the woman, you're going to have to get okay with this is who she is. Just like she got to get okay with who you is, fellas. Right? And we start striving toward peace. Let's finish off here. Having carefully compared the pros and cons, I think I am justified in stating that the Central Californians have beards, though not strong ones, that some tribes allow it to grow. They use the word suffer. This is old school, right? allow it to grow while others pluck it out as soon as it appears. During summer, except on festal occasions, the apparel of the men is of the most primitive character. They said primitive, ain't nothing primitive about it. Just because over in Europe they decided to dress head to toe and cover themselves does not mean the other group they meet is primitive. A slight strip of covering around the loins being full dress. But even this is unusual. The majority preferring to be perfectly unencumbered by clothing, because that's how you come out the womb. You don't come out the womb with the full suit on, right? Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake did that song, Suit and Tie, right a while ago, right? You don't come out with the suit and tie on, do you? No, you don't. In the winter, the skin of a deer or other animal is thrown. This is page 368. The skin of a deer or another animal is thrown over the shoulders, or sometimes kind of like what you saw in Black Panther, right? With M'Baku. That's what it kind of looks like. Just spread it across the different people groups on these islands around here, right? Again, because you got a problem with it don't mean it's a problem. It means you got a problem with it. And clearly, Jillian Michaels got a problem with something. Now, you want to tell me that's every one of his white folks? I don't believe that. Good majority of them? Oh, yeah. Clearly, right? Understand, though, that while we're looking that way, this is when we start doing this pointed fingers thing, right? You got a couple fingers coming back towards you. So understand, right? We got to be okay looking at ourselves more than we do other people groups, because we got our own stuff we got to deal with. All right. We're gonna stop there. We just wanted to put out some information here for folks, because understand this is the type of talk that you're going to hear now for a while. Now the dude is in office and all this kind of stuff. This is all the mess we heard last time. Because see, again, ain't nothing new under the sun. Just be prepared. Be prepared. Get yourself rooted and grounded in your history, family. Go study. And continue to keep on learning. I know I'm doing it. And again, like we said, like we started out this podcast, as I learn, we share with the family. That's how this works, right? As all of us should, right? So, family, thank you for walking this road with me. And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.